In December 2022, Ghana wasn't just in a crisis, it was on the brink of an abyss. Inflation had clawed its way to a 20-year high of 54.1%. The Cedi wasn't just falling, it was the worst performing currency on the planet. For the first time in its history, the Black Star of Africa defaulted on its debts. The global markets whispered that Ghana was the next Sri Lanka, a cautionary tale of a decade-long collapse. They were wrong. Fast forward to March 2026. The data tells a story of an impossible turnaround. Inflation hasn't just dropped, it has collapsed to a staggering 3.3%. That suffocating energy debt that once crippled the national grid cleared. This isn't just a recovery, it's a masterclass in economic surgery. The operation began with a bitter but necessary pill, the $3 billion IMF extended credit facility from the International Monetary Fund. But the money was never the solution. The discipline was. By early 2026, the results are undeniable. Public debt to GDP has plummeted from a crushing 90% to a manageable 45%. Ghana proved that if you follow the medicine, the patient doesn't just survive, they thrive. The real turning point, however, wasn't alone. It was the Goldbod taking back the reins of sovereignty. On January 20th, 2026, Ghana executed a move the IMF never saw coming, refining 1 metric ton of gold every single week, right here in Accra. By refining to 99.99% purity locally, we stopped being a mere exporter of rocks and became a global gold hub. Look at the exchange boards today compared to a year ago. You'll see a story of recovery. The Cedi has spent the last 14 months outmuscling the major currencies that once dominated it. Starting February 1st, we bypassed the dollar. We used our gold to build a record $13.8 billion reserve. We stopped chasing the dollar and started hoarding the gold. This is why the Cedi stands as the world's strongest performing currency in 2026. You can't run a 21st century economy on 20th century Dumsor. For years, the energy sector was a black hole of debt. But in January 2026, the government cleared $1.47 billion in legacy debts to upstream partners like ENI and Vitol. By restoring the World Bank partial risk guarantee, Ghana didn't just keep the lights on. It restored the heartbeat of investor confidence. The Industrial Revolution has finally become physical. From the $250 million Shama float glass factory, ending our import dependence, to the KEDA ceramics expansion, Ghana is now pumping out enough tiles and sanitary ware to serve the entirety of West Africa. But numbers in a ledger don't fill stomachs. The real test of 2026 is the 24-hour economy policy. Ghana is shifting from a buy and sell culture to a produce and export powerhouse. We are seeing a new landscape of textiles, cocoa processing, and gold refineries, all powered by a stabilized currency and accessible credit. Ghana's story is proof that the bottom isn't the end. But I want to hear your lived experience. With inflation just over 3%, have you actually felt the prices drop at your local market? Or is the retail lag still holding you back? Does this recovery make you want to bet on the Black Star again? Drop your views in the comments. The papers have the facts, but you have the truth. Share, like, and subscribe so you don't miss out on our next social issue.